by the way, HIG gave me some further context with the whole because Hunter Stone's the one who told me that the film Red thing was the two bullshit episodes I ranted about last week were promoting a movie, but he didn't give me any details. And then HIG came back in and had details to talk about like the author was a producer of the movie. He helped write it, I think, and that the kid is canon. That Shanks does have a daughter and she is a singer, and that this is all canon. The movie isn't necessarily canon. I don't know why that would matter either way, really, because like I doubt there's anything that happens in a movie that would affect the plot. You know, like for instance, I don't think Luffy fell in love with her, right? So I don't know that who cares whether it's canon or not. Like if nothing in it contradicts anything in the series, then as far as I'm concerned, it's canon because the kid is canon, right? And the author had a hand in the story, so that's where I come on that, right? Like if nothing contradicts it, whatever. But it could be something like somebody may stay at some point. Luffy's only been beaten 5 times, and if he's beaten in the movie, that would make it 6. Okay, I guess that part's not canon, but something like that. Other than that, who cares? But it's interesting to me because it makes me feel better about the whole thing that the author's involved. I mean, it's still a shameless. I mean, how much money does this dude need? How much money does a network need? You know they're making bank off this series, and you know he's making bank off the series, the manga and the anime. Both of them are printing money. Do they really need movie money? You know, to the point where you need 2 episodes to promote the shit. Like, go ahead and do a movie, put it out. You don't need to devote. You would still have plenty of people watch it. Put a commercial for the movie in one of the commercial breaks of the anime. That's all you need. You don't need to devote 2 goddamn episodes to promoting the effing movie, right? That's where I draw the line. How much money do you need? Anyway, that's not what I was wanting to say. What I wanted to say was that it feels less like a retcon. I feel better about the whole thing because the kid actually exists. She's real. And she's not going to be, probably ever be in the series, the real series, other than shameless promotion, because she's not in the game. She's not a pirate as far as I understand. She's just a singer. So, like I said, when I was talking about this last time, I forgot to mention in this very storyline, Kato has a son, So, but the son's in the business. The son is out here fighting people. If Kato had a son or daughter who is a farmer or a musician or, a seamstress and is off in some island, 100 miles away making dresses, or a baker making cinnabons or something, who gives a shit? The series will never know that because it doesn't involve the plot. It doesn't involve the story because you're not in the game. The kid's not in the game. Shanks' daughter's not in the game. Now, should she be in the game? Here's the thing. You get somebody with the power of Shanks. Who among us as a pirate wouldn't want to kidnap her to have some power over Shanks? Now, that's a dangerous game. Lay one finger on her, you're dead. If you come for the king, you better not miss. You better have a rock solid plan. You better have rock solid protection. You better be able to fight because you have declared war in a way that he will never forgive you. And I'm not even talking about in an anime sense of never forgiven. He will kill you. You touch his daughter. But somebody out there is arrogant enough to try. So it must not be common knowledge. Because you got a civilian out here who can't defend herself. Now, I would assume if he has any intelligence whatsoever, and we know he does, he's going to have some kind of operative shadowing her. Maybe have somebody, come up and, be a frequent customer who's always at her bake shop if she was a baker. She's a musician. So maybe he's a teamster helping move shit around. Maybe he's literally her manager. That would make the most sense to me because the manager would always be around and always know her plans and can handle security. And she would have normal amount of security just simply because she is a celebrity, right? But you need pirate security. You need fruit power security. I would have a Rough Rider, one of my hardest pipe-hitting mofos, right next to her at all times. Just to be on the safe side. It's not going to help, like if, say, Kato personally came with all the deck of cards. King, Queen, Jack, Joker, whatever. Then your one guy ain't going to do anything. But it'll keep the riffraff and the street level gangs and some arrogant mid-level new generation pirate from trying any shit, right? And because what if we just talk? They just want to hurt Shanks. Like maybe Shanks killed their captain, and so they just want to hurt her. So they just want to go kill her. Well, kidnapping is one thing. You can track her down, rescue her, and punish the kidnappers. But if somebody wants to assassinate her, that's it. So I don't know. I mean, I think that's the one writing problem you've created by having a civilian daughter out there. Is there would be so many people with an axe to grind against Shanks. I know he seems to be the most popular and he's ruffled the fewest feathers. But even the Navy and the government might be thinking about some shit. They got secret agencies, they got assassins, CP0 or whatever. They may want something over him. And so they can just rendition her ass, right? So it opens up a potential plot hole that people can ask the question. You never want fans asking, why don't they do X? When you don't give a shit about X. You don't care. Why don't they use a time turner to go back and rescue Cedric Diggory? Because I don't give a shit about anybody rescuing Cedric Diggory. He had to die for the plot to happen, and he pivoted us from children's story to teenage story. Preteen story before Cedric Diggory dies, post-teen story, teenager story after Cedric Diggory dies. We literally flipped the genre. We were in middle school literature, and now we're in teen literature. And him dying did that. It has to happen. Nobody's using a time turner to go back and say, I don't give a shit what the characters feel about. So stop asking, dumbass, right? That's the real answer. Stop asking, dumbass. Because the plot demands it. It's pivotal to everything that happens in the entire story before and after, right? That's why they don't use a time turner. But you've introduced time turners, and characters care about him, so it's a legitimate question. Why don't they? Okay, well, let me just destroy all the time turners then. Here, problem solved. Now, stop asking me, dumbass. Well, why would they keep all the time turners in one place? That's just stupid. Nobody had a single time turner anywhere in the world that they were experimenting with or using to get extra sleep, or nobody had a single one anywhere. We don't believe you. Well, I'm the author, and I'm an asshole, so what I say goes, right? So you can go round and round. We kind of have that problem here. The author doesn't give a shit about somebody trying to kidnap Shanks' daughter to get a leg up on him. But in the real world, if all this shit was real, everything was real, that would definitely happen. There would be 6 plots a year. Let's get his daughter. For whatever, or let's kill his daughter. He killed our captain, let's kill the daughter. It would 100% be happening. It would definitely be happening. So, I think this is just something we just, move on from. And pretend it never happened. Because, like I said, it raises a question. And you could address it, like I said, you just say, look, I got my hardest, stone coldest, baddest assed, pipe hitting, meth smoking, 6 fruit powers having Rough Rider. He will rip you to shreds. He killed 6 people before breakfast every morning so he can bathe in their blood. That is who is standing next to her, and if you go anywhere near her, you better avert your eyes! Because he will kill you just for looking sideways at her. That's who I got standing next to her, so that's why nobody ever tries anything with her. Okay, cool. But, establish that. And maybe they did establish that in the movie. We may literally see some really... I haven't seen the movie. Maybe there's some big badass standing next to her in the movie, or her manager or something. He whips out a fruit power out of his ass, and it's like, God damn. He can teleport her or something, phase shift her into a different dimension where nobody can touch her if she's in any danger. That's probably the best protection you could have. Right? One dude can do that. Automatic. She would phase back if you kill him, but until then, she's completely protected. So that's probably who I'd put next to her. So I don't know. I mean, authors have to worry about this shit. He doesn't give a shit. Like I said, it's not a huge plot hole, but if you sit there and think about it, you rewatch it as much as we do, and you think about it and you talk about it as much as we do, it's something. It's something, it's there. Anyway, let's go and get into this. We are going on 1. 3, 2, 1. He didn't choke shit. He knocked him overboard and Luffy fell in the water. He didn't choke him out. You lying bitch. Hey, that was quick. Maybe we're finally getting back to Luffy. That cliffhanger's been in the air for what, 3 episodes now? Yeah, we're gonna get his rescue today. Because he ain't dying, man. Not in episode 1037 or whatever we're at. 36. He is sinking, though, like a stone, man. That ocean water's like, you have fruit powers, F you. Kiss my ass. See, the worst part about this is the PR hit, which is why you announce it. Some of these people are going to feel filled with despair and grief, and they're going to, get their asses kicked. Me, it would piss me off and make me fight harder. How about you just get revenge, get mad? Is it the submarine or is it going to be a Sea King? I think it's going to be a Sea King. Momosuke was reacting for a reason. I think he's somehow connected with the Sea Kings. He's not Poseidon, but he somehow has a connection with them. I don't know. This is bigger than one person, man. You still got Momosuke. Rally under Momosuke's banner, right? Plus, they could just be lying. I would have just tried lying, man. Earlier, if you're trying to get rid of all the second bananas and his powerful crew members, lie. Yeah, head first down in the water is not the way to go, man. Yep, we're getting close to the city. It's about to fall down on the city, isn't it? Not good. Oh, shut up. I guess he's on our side. Whatever. I still don't like him. I feel so good. Ape rage for good this time, right? Yeah. The ape is coming out of his hand. So basically, he has his hand up the ape's ass. Not what we're looking for. Why is Captain Kid got his back? Because he's a dick? Because he's just above it all? He's reclusive? Yeah. Yeah. Now that's a cut. Oh shit, that dude got a sword right in the face, man. I don't like how you guys slid around just like that. That was not cool. What is this, ballet? He's. I just can't get over Crucifix Zoro. Crucifix Zoro, just absolutely hilarious. Kappa style. In your ass, bitch. Tell you what. I know he ain't a toad. He's some other kind of creature. Somebody told me. I don't remember. Whatever he is, man. He's tearing that ass up. Even if I see his dead body, I ain't believing it if I'm a crew member. Because Luffy's too powerful. Not even because we know nobody dies on the show. Just because we believe in Luffy, right? He ain't dying. If he was going to die, he would have died at Crocodile's hands way back in the day, right? Think about how different the world would be if Crocodile had killed him back then in the desert. It'd be a very different world. Jesus. You can't be using me, the crucifix, as a weapon. Exactly. But he'll believe it because, he's weak. He's just going to lay there and cry. Yeah, you're making me sad. What a dick. Panic stricken, huh? What a terrible ass power. Not that attack again. What attack would you prefer? I mean, at least he's not raining shit on your head. At least it is candy, right? I don't think it should be allowed to multiply like that. That's not fair. God damn. Boy, it truly is rain, isn't it? Yeah, F you. Cowardly monster. I don't think he's cowardly as much as he's just weak and, prone to despair. What the hell? Get this son bitch. Hit him with the crucifix. Yeah. I don't usually root for Sanji, like at all, but this is pretty badass. I hate Queen more than I hate Sanji, so that's it off the top, man. Punk ass. Flame Royal Dino bitch. That's what that is. You're taking all the arrows too. I like it. Excellent. He's gonna land on you with all your own arrows. Yeah. That's right. No, there's no waiting. They turned this subbitch into a helicopter. Are you shitting me? Yeah. That might be his badass this moment. Oh, quit crying. He, of the entire crew, I think he's the one that's most obsessed with Luffy. He loves him the most, right? Plus, he's the youngest. He's just naive. You gotta believe, man. Believe in your boy. Who cares what they say? He's a true believer. The cult of Luffy. He's the high priest in the cult of Luffy. Oh, are you mad now, huh? We turned you into a helicopter. He's a little pissed off now. Yeah. Handle the crucifix, will you? It's a very poor job of medicine, is what that is. Yeah. He wakes up when he wants to, doesn't he? Look at this terrible ass bandaging job. So, he's going to be one to kick Queen's ass. I have mixed feelings about this, but, ultimately, I'm on the side of F this guy. He turned him into a helicopter, flies all the way up to the top, hits the ceiling, and comes crashing back to the ground. That might be the best thing ever, man. That is so awesome. Marco's putting in work, man. We don't see much of it. We don't see much of it, but he's over there putting in work in the background. This show is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Who would think of that? Let me turn that dino bitch into a helicopter. Who would even think of that, man? I mean, I don't even know how you come back from that. Like, you got turned into a helicopter, you hit the ceiling, you come back and crash to the ground, you'd be like, okay, I'm going home, I'm done. Like, that's just too embarrassing. No, still wants to fight, man. That's pretty impressive. Where you think you're going, you asshole? What am I waiting for? You can't even walk, dude. He's walking like me after 2 bottles, right? Let me achieve some penetration here. You like that? Well, those are breaks, man. It's a good cover story. I think we saw this before when we first saw these graves, and they told us about the flash. The fact they came from the future or from the past, right? I don't understand shit. This is a good twist when they first revealed this. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? It'd be interesting to go back because I've never rewatched it with this knowledge. How they interacted with each other. Because he was looking for him for a long time, right? But it'd be interesting to see, like, if there's a little bit of, there's a few hints there, which I'm sure there are, because the author knew ahead of time, right? Like, if he didn't treat him like his own son, in other words, like, he wasn't, like, stern with him. He wasn't, like, correcting him every second, because, like, he's not really his son and he's actually his superior, which is a weird dynamic, right? I wonder about that. Like, it'd be interesting to see how what that was like when they were interacting with each other before we knew. Not the undertone. Incompetent. Incompetent. This is me just trying to remember their names. Why are you presenting your ass? Yeah. So we can arrive at a point to these flashbacks at some point. I don't know. Makes you wonder if they're about to kill Kinemon, right? I think they probably are. Not that the show kills anybody, but this is coded like they are because they're showing these heartwarming flashbacks between the two of them, so we'll know why. Of course, we would know why he's grieving anyway. But this kind of really drives it home. If they're about to kill this son bitch, that would be the point of these flashbacks, I think. I go sleepies now. Was that when they first saw each other again? It had been a while. But that was a believable interaction. You would totally believe that's his son, from that. Jesus. They're about to kill this son of a bitch. Yep. Here it comes. I don't think graceful is really equated to death. Like, there is no graceful way to die. There's no dignified way to die. You just die, man. Jesus. Case in point. I really thought he'd be the one to take Kato's head. I really did. I predicted that a long time ago. I thought he'd be the one to do it, ultimately. Yeah, you're gonna be tasting that. I was waiting for him to say that because I knew where he was going with that. Right? You're gonna taste that same feeling here, right quick. I say right quick, probably be 50 episodes from now, but moderately quick. At some point between now and the heat death of the universe, this summit will taste defeat. It's gonna taste bitter. He's gonna choke on it as he dies. I just want. That's the thing. I want Kato to die, but I want him to live long enough to understand that he's lost. I want him to taste that, experience that, revel in it. Why would you keep that? The hell are you doing? Tell him what? What voice? Oh, is that what he's been hearing? What he's been reacting to? I don't understand how that helps you. Tell him that Luffy's alive. They're not going to rebroadcast that though. So anybody can talk into one of these things and everybody will hear it. Is that how that works? That means any conversation over here in any room would be broadcast to everybody, right? Yes, he is crying, by the way, to answer your question. he, he's been underwater for 2 hours, man. He is dead as hell. His head is going down first. Look at him. Mouth open, eyes without pupils. He is not alive, man. But this is pretty inspirational. I like it. I don't understand the logistics of how he can be talking and broadcasting everybody because did he flip a switch? I don't know. But I like it. I like the message. And it's a great vocal performance. That's what we needed. They get me emotional, man. Tell him I've almost hit bottom. Meanwhile, I'm down here with the Little Mermaid, and they're singing Under the Sea right now as I go down head first. I actually got emotional. I've been wondering, is this show even capable of getting me emotional anymore? Because, like I said, stakes are pretty much gone. No consequences. Kinnaman's dead. I probably would have been a lot more emotional about that. It didn't affect me at all. Like, who the hell knows? He'll be back. I don't know if he will. That felt pretty final to me. If I was betting, I'd say it's about 60-40 he's dead, but like there's that 40% holding you back so you don't get emotional. But this got me emotional. Even though we already knew he was alive. I don't know if it was a vocal performance or if it was just a word choice, but this is good, man. The kid's got that little something. Like, yes, he's only 8, and of course he's gonna cry a lot, and he's gonna be scared. We get it, right? But he's got that little bit of fire that takes him further than any other 8-year-old would go, right? There's not many 8-year-olds that would have been, first of all, thought to say that and then delivered it so eloquently, right? Even if he was crying. So he's got that little special something. I think he'll be a great leader someday. You gotta have that little bit of something, right? The it factor.